All right. Good evening and namaskar, everyone, fellow traders. Monday evening, 6 o'clock, and I am back with you to discuss about the markets, what happened in today's trading session, what's happening overall in terms of the sectors and some major stocks, and what can we expect going forward the week ahead. I hope you had a decent week. These are not fertile markets where profits come easily. These markets make life difficult for a trader. So the discussion has to happen with charts, right? When I'm taking the session. So let's quickly present my screen. There you go, and the first screen share. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag this to the second screen. Wait a minute. Let me drag this here. Perfect. Now, can I quickly get some confirmations from anyone? Audio video should be fine, reaching out to you clearly. Quickly, chat box. Anyone can give me a confirmation if you're able to see my screen and hear me. I'm using 4 different time frames here. Of late, I've been seeing many trades which I like to take from the 125-minute time frame. It's kind of getting missed out because it's the system, the setups are getting built up quickly on the lower time frame, something like a 75 or lower than that. I don't prefer to go down to 75 or less than 75, but the market's probably wanting that to happen. If I have to pick up any move, it has to be agile enough. All right, first things first, let's quickly take a look at the Nifty. Overall market understanding is important, though there are many stocks that may not align itself with the market. What I'm going to do is I'm going to blow out any one particular chart. It will help us to evaluate and understand, and you'll be able to see the chart much more clearly rather than four narrow vertical charts. So this is the weekly chart of the Nifty future, and it's struggling. It's choppy, it's volatile, it's filled with stocks giving us gap ups and gap downs, especially after strong up moves, gap downs, and strong down move, gap up. So it makes life for a short-term trader little difficult unless you're able to, kind of catch the stock at the right time. So one word I can say from the Nifty weekly chart, it is slowly angling down. Now, my charts, the way I read it, the momentum of this particular chart has been losing grounds for quite some time. Generally, when the momentum slips, price should follow suit and it should also start to come down. The longer time it takes to come down, the fall tends to become questionable, right? So as you can see, it's been almost more than 8 weeks that the stock or the index has not gone anywhere while the momentum was cooling off. But the overall angle, the price is slowly like topping out at the top like this from the weekly time frame. It's not looking that good, but I doubt how much it will fall when it falls. Nevertheless, coming to the daily time frame, and you will definitely see this recent oscillation. And this is really disheartening for any kind of a trader who would like to see follow through selling is not there. Any kind of trader on the long side who would like to see follow through buying was not there. And so we are dealing with this range bound market. It's at the lower end of wherever recent supports it had. And today we had a bounce back day. Today we can say that the index bounced back a little bit. Now, as you will be aware of and you've noticed, I use Heikin-Ashi charts. Heikin-Ashi charts gives me a little edge. I see Heikin-Ashi chart as one of the few edges that I might say I find on my charts. So Heikin-Ashi closing price gives me average closing price. So today's Nifty gain is of that of 83 points, but my Heikin-Ashi is negative. But nevertheless, what is important is from the lowest point of the day, the overall market bounced back. And that lowest point of the day is almost identical from where it bounced back last time, very close to where it bounced back the previous, which was very close to where it was. So supports or previous lows are working, previous highs are equally working, and the outcome is a range bound market. You should not look to short the market at the lows, neither should you look to buy the market at the top. Don't do any breakout trades here. Breakout trades is not going to work. So we have a bounce back, and the bounce back was spread across, as you can see here, pharma, metals, real estate, private banks. So I'll quickly take a look at them for you. So pharma again is equally range bound. Metal is an exceptionally strong counter which has managed a decent outside bar kind of a behavior in today's trade. So has real estate, and so has private banks, finance, and bank nifty. I'll come to these three little later. What I want to say about real estate, and what I want to say about, to some extent, about metals also. In fact, आप एक चीज ध्यान रखिए कि आज मंडे था, and let's say tomorrow, even if the market gains a little bit, whatever this short term bounce back is, ये एक दिन का bounce back हो सके, 2-3 दिन का bounce back पे टर्न आउट करे, whatever is the length of this bounce back, इस bounce backs के lows को alert लगा के रखिएगा. What I mean to say is, if this market decides to fall seriously, severely, then the bounce back days, जैसे आज का bounce back है, तो any bearishness के लिए fall below today's low is very important. It's like a sign of confirmation. सोचिए कल और ऊपर जाता है, लेकिन मोमेंटम एंड ट्रेंड रीडिंग नेगेटिव रहता है, तो कल का लो इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाएगा. फ्रॉम हियर ऑन, लेट्स से मैं निफ्टी का एग्जांपल लेके आपको ये समझाने का कोशिश करता हूँ. फ्रॉम हियर ऑन, as long as let's say 50% or more than 50% of this move, let's say 22,500 के आसपास, यहाँ से यहाँ तक अगर ये बाउंस बैक देते रहता है, और अगर उसमें उनके जो लोअर शैडोज है वो आपका ट्रिगर होगा फॉर एनी काइंड ऑफ अ शॉर्ट, फॉर एनी काइंड ऑफ अ शॉर्ट. उनका लो टूटना will be the fresh impetus for bearishness. Do not try to go short right now. Wait for this bounce back. Let's see how is the bounce back. You also have to evaluate the quality of the bounce back. In today's bounce back, sectoral gainers is pharma, metal, real estate. Now, honestly, these three do not matter too much. Dr. Reddy hai, Tata Steel hai, Hindalco hai, DLF hai. So they are not the top 5 Nifty weight stocks. फिर आते हैं प्राइवेट बैंक, सीएनएक्स फाइनेंस, बैंक निफ्टी. यहाँ पे रिलेटिवली दे आर रिलेटिवली बेटर. Their weekly charts are relatively better. So amongst these, this particular pocket of financials, it's a little mixed. IndusInd Bank is weakening, SBI is towards weakening. Axis, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank can be interesting. In fact, last Monday I had discussed HDFC Bank with you. That was, the stock was in a make or break. Sadly, did not make. On the other hand, it broke down. So I feel that the private sector pocket of HDFC, ICICI, Axis can give some support to the bank nifty. Recently, we saw a little bit of weakness from the PSU pocket. So मुझे लगता है private, अगर banks काम करता है, if banks kind of not fall, it's these private sector banks can give you a short-term bounce back. Then amongst the sector which has improved quite a bit is CNX FMCG. This sector has improved. I have been personally avoiding in our masterclass sessions also, classes में हमारा opinion ये था कि हम यहाँ पे trade नहीं लेना चाहेंगे because the sector was in a very bad consolidation, very choppy consolidation, and we decided we're going to stay away from this and stay away till the point that it finds itself back to a trending phase. And now if I take a look at the weekly chart, yes, it is finding itself back to a trending phase. This is the weekly chart, which looks impressive. Not impressive, but improving. The daily chart looks impressive. The daily has finally given us a much needed breakout and sustaining. So FMCG from here on can play a role, but it will be choppy. ITC can be an interesting one. Hindustan Unilever is going to face some resistance at the current price. If you want to see, I can quickly show you the chart of Hindustan Unilever, which has been beaten down. And I had this, in fact, आज सुबह क्लास में ही मैंने ये ड्रॉ किया था, जितना मुझे याद आ रहा है. So it's knocking very, very important supports, which now can act as a decent resistance for the index, for the stock. Now, the stock had been erstwhile seriously very, very trendless and choppy. So ITC can be something that you can look at. Now, consumer durables is relatively fine. Energy can be little worrisome. So Reliance, ONGC, OMC is also thoda ab dhyan rakhiyega, because what has happened in the energy pack is it has come off. It has kind of given you a feeling of a breakout failure. ये देखिए डेली वीकली चार्ट से वो समझ में आएगा. What I'm trying to explain over here is this: it went up, made a high, could not sustain, came down. This is a breakout failure. Breakout failures, अगर ढंग से it turns out to be a failure, then वो अच्छा खासा नीचे लेके आता है in at least two legs. ABC kind of waves में ये इंडेक्स को नीचे ला सकता है. एक लेग हो चुका है, one leg we can see. It has bounced back today. हम पकड़ लेते हैं कि एक देर दो दिन और भी बाउंस बैक हो सकते हैं. Then it becomes really important and interesting to see कि lows टूटता है कि नहीं. So keep an eye on Reliance, ONGC and the other stocks. Before I take few of your questions, you can put down your questions. I can see Gurpreet, Abhishek and Vinod has put down some questions. Before I take these questions, I would like to spend a couple of minutes to discuss IT. Now, yes, it's a beaten down sector. Yes, the trend is down, everything is weak. Okay, 4 charts will not make sense. I would like to come to IT from a monthly perspective. Okay. The long-term charts of this sector is not bad. My structural indicators tells me that it's pretty fine. It has lost momentum, lost some ground, went back to its previous high, but could not give us that breakout. So when you take a look at the monthly chart, and अगर आपको 2-2.5 महीने का correction दिखता है back to its previous breakout levels, it's not a bearish chart, to be honest. If I go down one time frame lower, then I come to the weekly chart, which definitely has gone through the serious correction, and the index is back to this level. This previous resistance can act as support. So my point over here is the CNX IT is at an interesting juncture, price wise and time wise, जहां पे उसको थोड़ा सा support मिलना चाहिए. Ideally, I expect the sector not to fall significantly from here, to see some slowdown of the selling and maybe a meaningful bounce back. Now, I'm not expecting the bounce back to go all the way back to the highs and an all-time high. अगर वो होता है तो बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन एक छोटा मोटा बाउंस बैक होना चाहिए, जो कि लास्ट 2-3 महीने में इसने नहीं दिया है. So let's say for example, अगर हम इसका कंपैरिजन इसके साथ करें, ड्यूरिंग दिस पीरियड देयर वाज अ सेल ऑफ, बीच में थोड़ा सा रुका था, ये भी बीच में थोड़ा सा रुका था. Then it managed to find some support and it gave a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 4-week-old bounce back. 4 हफ्ते का bounce back, more or less 50% retracement, 50 to 60% retracement हुआ था, और फिर ये और weaken हुआ. So my sense is this is not a bad place in terms of time and price, where number one, the selling should slow down, ease off, and the ease off can lead to a reversal, and if I see signs of this reversal, जो कि weekly chart में देखने जाऊंगा तो नहीं मिलेगा, because I'll be late. मुझे daily chart पे जाना पड़ेगा, या फिर probably daily से भी नीचे जाना पड़ेगा. And then I can try and identify which are the names which can take me to that 50-60% retracement, if at all that retracement comes. So let me ask you, क्या कोई बोल पाएगा that amongst the top names, which is the main IT name which looks relatively stronger at this juncture? At this juncture, अगर कोई एक या दो नाम IT पैक से हम लोग आइडेंटिफाई करें, यार उसको उस पे ध्यान देते हैं, let's keep an eye on them, कि हो सकता है ये लीड करे. Out of these, one stock has already given a move and वो leadership दिखा रहा है. It's trying to show that leadership, and that is, yes, TCS, correct. एक झलक देखिए, just take a look of these charts with me. You will be able to understand what I'm trying to say, because charts are beautiful. They don't lie. They are the factual behavior of price and demand and supply. So this is my IT pack. I track only these 10 names. Okay, I don't go beyond them. I'll just quickly click through. Number one, Infosys. There you go. And now that we are doing this exercise, it's not a bad idea that I drop an info line from the highest point to the current lowest point. एक बार देख लेते what has been the extent of the fall. The extent of the fall for Infosys in 49 trading days is 21% correction. Okay. Current situation is range bound. It had made a low somewhere here. After that, the stock has gone range bound. It has not yet given any kind of a reversal yet. Next, HCL Tech देख लेते हैं. HCL Tech, if I drop an info line from the highest point to the current lowest point जो आज hit हुआ था, then this stock in the last 51 trading days has lost 23%, 21%, 23%, more or less similar kind of a correction. और ये आज भी lower low बना रहा है. So between HCL and Infosys, of course, Infosys slightly better off because वो गिरना at least बंद कर चुका है. अभी देखना है वो उछलता है कि नहीं. But ये अभी भी गिर रहा है. Wipro. Now Wipro, if we drop an info line from the current highs to the current lows, Wipro has corrected again 21.92% in 41 bars. Similar to Infosys, this guy also managed a bounce back and stayed range bound, but वो range अभी तोड़ रहा है. It has not managed to sustain. Means when you give this move up and you start to retrace, you should not fall this much. You should give this move. It did not come. So Wipro, in line with the weakness, has not managed that bounce back. Tech Mahindra, and last mein TCS देखेंगे. Tech Mahindra, thanks to its news event, it gave a big sharp reversal. Then it kind of bouncing, just going back and kind of stabilizing after this big gain. Tech Mahindra's correction is around 19%, so far the least, and in 58 bars. I think सबसे ज़्यादा in number of bars also. But it's relatively better. The problem is कि जहाँ bottom बनाया और जहाँ आज हम इसको evaluate कर रहे हैं, ये already bottom से काफी हद तक भाग चुका है. मतलब it just gave a vertical reversal. पकड़ना बहुत मुश्किल है इनको. It's very difficult. So Tech Mahindra, if this move is honestly a valuable one and it doesn't want to fall back to a downtrend, ये सब lows टूटना नहीं चाहिए. Ideally ये यहाँ से it should move out. It should give this breakout on the upside. And last but not the least, TCS. Now this chart is behaving much better, sensible. In the sense, पहला info line drop कर लेते हैं. On a high to low basis, this has fallen the least. Just 11.76% in 28 bars in terms of time and in terms of price. This has fallen the least because ये ऊपर में time pass कर रहा था. फिर उसने एक breakout दिया और जानबूझ के उस breakout को वो fail करा दिया. In the sense, when I say like this, I'm speaking in terms of price. So price, kind of failed that breakout. Sharp sell-off, a complex pullback, second level of sell-off. Then after that, created some kind of a divergence. And now we have a meaningful bounce back. We are going through a meaningful consolidation also. Range थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा है. We are eyeing this. In fact, हमारे masterclass में हम लोग इसको last 2-3 दिन से track कर रहे हैं. Problem here to take a trade in TCS is the risk. The risk is pretty wide. Stop loss काफी deep होगा. So we are keeping an eye on TCS. TCS looks better. So देखना ये है that this script that we just created, the view, the analysis that we just now discussed of some kind of a support coming in from the IT, वो आता है कि नहीं? And अगर आता है, then I'm quite hopeful that even if stocks like TCS goes up and gives a retest of the previous lows somewhere here, एक छोटा सा short term momentum trader के लिए ये move काफी है. ठीक है? So there are pockets of opportunities, but we need to be careful. We need to be careful because in this market, Tata Motors जैसे counter जो कि काफी strong थे Friday को, सीधा 8% गिरा देता है आज. Severe reversal. In this kind of a market जहाँ पे सिप्ला जैसा stock नीचे की तरफ बंद दिया था Friday को, sold off really sharp last week, आज सीधा रिवर्सल देता है on the daily time frame. So reversals are sharp. मतलब अगर आप सिप्ला शॉर्ट करके बैठे थे फ्राइडे दोपहर तक, ओह प्रिटी नाइस, इसको ट्रेंड फॉलो करेंगे, भूल जाइए, मंडे दोपहर तक आउट ऑफ द पिक्चर, राइट? So these are not easy markets, so we need to be really careful and we need to do our best to find a good opportunity. So whatever time is left, let me quickly take a look at the screen and see if I have any good questions. We'll try to discuss more structural, conceptual, trading, psychological oriented questions that will help us um, to grow. It's better not to discuss stock specific, but we do discuss stock so that we understand the subject better. So ये कैसा लगता है, वो कैसा लगता है, ना discuss करके, if we discuss the subject as a whole, it will be really meaningful time for both of us. Gurpreet, your question is, can you please share your view on making new position? If I want to make a position in 10 stock, then what would be strategy and about pyramiding them? It requires homework. It requires proper planning, methodical planning. You need to dig a little deeper than this. A lot of decision needs to be made here. What are these 10 stocks? What should be the weightages of these 10 stocks that you're going to add to this new portfolio? Is it going to be diversified? Is it going to be only large caps or mixed? Because 10 is not a big number. 10 is also not a very small number. 10 stocks is quite a concentrated one. So first तो आपको ये decide करना है on the basis of what. Are you going to diversify it across at least 5 sectors, or are you just going to focus on 10 core stocks irrespective of any kind of a theme, any kind of a sectoral theme नहीं चाहिए आपको. So a lot of decision needs to be made, and उसके बाद pyramiding सोचिएगा. Pyramiding will be the least of your problem, और pyramiding तभी होगा जब वो stock चलेगा. अभी हम लोग ऐसे बाजार में हैं, it's very difficult to say that come on, I've got this 10 stocks, I've bought this on Tuesday and इसको next week pyramid करेंगे. So we are not in that kind of a market. So pyramiding will be the least of the problem. Try to do it 50%, 30%, 20%, 5-3-2. But most importantly, how do you decide on these 10 stocks, right? Let me go through these questions. Abhishek is asking, why do you use Heiken-Ashi and not candlestick chart? Is there any specific advantage? First thing, Abhishek, good to see you that you've been joining all my YouTube lives. And I remember taking up at least 3 questions of yours last Monday. But good to see your participation. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Now, coming to your question on Heiken-Ashi. See, Heiken-Ashi is a modified candle. ठीक है, मैं ज्यादा बेसिक में नहीं जाऊंगा, ये क्लास नहीं हो रहा है. It's a modified candle. Essentially, it's a slow candle. Because वो prices का average लेता है. Closing price is open high, low close divided by 4. Heiken-Ashi responds and reacts little late. अगर कैंडलस्टिक आज लो बॉटम बनाता है तो Heiken-Ashi कल बनाएगा. अगर कैंडल आज टॉप बनाता है तो Heiken-Ashi कल बनाएगा. So it's a little late. अब आपके सिग्नल्स, आपके रीडिंग्स लेट क्यों चाहिए? और अगर लेट चाहिए तो कौन सा सिग्नल लेट चाहिए? व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सिग्नल डू यू वांट? ये जो Heiken-Ashi मुझे प्राइस इंडिकेट कर रहा है, एवरेज प्राइस, एंड मुझे पता है ये लेट इंडिकेट कर रहा है, तो व्हाई वुड आई वांट माय सिग्नल्स टू बी लेट? बिकॉज एवरीवन वुड वांट इट टू बी लीडिंग अर्ली, राइट? जो कि आपको एग्जैक्ट बार चार्ट या लाइन चार्ट या कैंडलस्टिक चार्ट देगा. Now, in my case, personal trading opinion, I want to be as confirmed as possible. Confirmation is always a lagging indication. It's like outside it's dark clouds. That's a leading indication कि बारिश होने वाला है. 15 मिनट बाद बारिश होता है. And हम बारिश को देख के बोलते हैं, हाँ, yes, it is raining. That's a confirmed indication that it is raining. So over here, Heiken-Ashi, the way I read it, and I'm quite content and happy with it, it suits my temperament, is slightly confirmed. तो मुझे एक्चुअल रॉ प्राइस जो कैंडल्स देता है, उसका जो उछल कूद होता है, द जायरेशंस, द क्विक मूव, उतना मुझे नहीं चाहिए। मुझे उसको थोड़ा सा स्लो डाउन कर, वो मेरे टेम्परामेंट, मेरे स्टाइल ऑफ ट्रेडिंग को सूट करता है, एंड दैट्स व्हाई नंबर दिस इज वन ऑफ द कोर रीजन, नंबर वन। नंबर टू, I find them visually very pleasing in comparison to candlestick. This is personal. मुझे ये पिंक अच्छा लगता है, आपको प्रॉब्ली वो पिंक अच्छा ना लगे। सो ओवर हियर देर इज नो कॉन्सेप्चुअल रीजनिंग, दिस इज मोर एस्थेटिक रीजनिंग। आई फाइंड देम मोर प्लीजिंग, विजुअली प्लीजिंग लगता है। आई फाइंड देम, इट हेल्प्स मी टू राइट द ट्रेंड। मुझे जब मैं एक सौदे पे हूँ एंड मुझे वो राइट करना है, मे बी अ बार चार्ट कैंडलस्टिक मुझे थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा एंक्शियस करेगा, जो मुझे हाइकन नहीं करता। इसका प्लस साइड भी है, माइनस साइड भी है। एंड लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, बिकॉज आई हैव स्पेंड सम गुड अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम विथ हाइकेनाशी, मैंने कुछ कुछ चीज़ों को ऑब्जर्व किया है। आई हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड फ्यू यूनिक पैटर्न बोल देते हैं इसको, let's call it patterns. One of the patterns I call it, which I teach in the masterclass, it's called HAGB, Heiken-Ashi Golden Bar, which is a trigger जो एक move दे सकता है। वैसे काफी सारे छोटे छोटे कुछ patterns है which I personally notice them, I see them repeating themselves, and I'm fine with them. It makes my trading decision easy. That's it. But honestly, Abhishek, long story short, ये तो मैंने सब अपने reasoning दे दिया आपको। हाइकेनाशी विल नॉट गारंटी मी रिटर्न्स। अगर मुझे मेरा ट्रेडिंग टेम्परामेंट नहीं है, मेरा ट्रेडिंग डिसिप्लिन नहीं है, आई डोंट हैव अ मेथड, आई डोंट हैव अ डिसिप्लिन, कोई भी हाइकेनाशी या रेंको या कागी या ये वो रेंज बास आपको नहीं बचा सकता। वरना इतने सारे डिफरेंट वेज ऑफ ट्रेडिंग नहीं होते। द रीजन वाई देर आर सो मेनी वराइटीज ऑफ ट्रेडिंग is because it's not easy, because the secret is not in the chart, the secret is in the trader, ठीक है? So it's a personal preference and it's growing more last, मतलब अभी ऐसा हो गया कि even if I go back to the candlesticks, my candlesticks I've rarely used in my career. I've used bar, and nowadays I use, for many months, years now, I use Heiken, and kind of Heiken growing on me. It seems like मुझे और कुछ वो बता रहा है, सिखा रहा है. So there you go. Vinod, you're asking about Hindustan Unilever. I just commented. We just took a look at the chart, और वो एक major serious resistance को knock कर रहा है. अगर उसके ऊपर निकल जाता है, it's really good for Hindustan Unilever. Coming to tech review, your question is, if a stock respects support but breakout is long way, how to approach that stock if indicator is plus one? Honestly, I did not understand the question. If a stock respects support, मतलब support से उछल रहा है, it's bouncing from the support, but breakout is long away, मतलब okay, let's Nifty का example ले लेते, just to understand your question better. If I understood it rightly, if it is respecting the support and the breakout is long way, how to approach that stock if indicator is plus minus? Now, indicator plus minus, I don't understand. The way to deal with this kind of a situation, if your question is like this, is look for an opportunity to go long here, because you're anticipating that the support will hold like in the past. So I'm expecting at least a 50% move, तो मैं एक छोटा सा up move खेलना चाहूंगा, I would like to. However, सपोर्ट टूटते भी है, और यहाँ के नीचे ही आपका मोरलेस आपका रिस्क मैनेजमेंट सपोर्ट स्टॉप लॉस होना चाहिए. सॉरी, इंडिकेटर प्लस माइनस मैं नहीं समझा, ठीक है? Quite a name of IT stocks that you have shared, yes, but out of that, I think we should rank it: TCS, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so you can join this. I've got few questions. In fact, after last Monday's also, we found this. I got a couple of personal messages on WhatsApp that you can definitely get to know more about Masterclass. A link has been shared here. Coordinators, if you can share with everyone, it will be great in the chat box. So anyone who's interested, check the link, because WhatsApp में मैं ज़्यादा बारीकी से समझा नहीं पाता हूँ, because it's a WhatsApp, it's short messaging, right? Do take a look at that, and they will definitely guide you. Anurag, India VIX and short-term swing trade relationship. India VIX, apparently the way I used to look at it is a sentiment indicator. And I said used to because मैं ये सब कुछ use नहीं करता. I don't look at India VIX, I don't look at open interest, I don't look at volumes, and I just want to focus more and more on price and few derivatives of price. ठीक है? So ideally, it's a sentiment indicator. It's a fear indicator. It should be inversely correlated with the behavior of the benchmark Nifty. But Anurag, honestly, I don't track it. And in fact, last class में किसी ने डिस्कस किया था या इसी YouTube लाइव में किसी ने डिस्कस किया था, मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा है. तभी लास्ट देखा था मैंने, उसके बाद मैंने देखा भी नहीं. So I'm sure it has some value, but I have personally not used it. I still remember in the end of 2007 when India VIX was launched, I was with ISEC and we did a thorough research and we had come out with a report. This is a new kid on the block, India VIX and ye wo, etc., etc. But honestly, I'm not the right guy to add more meaning to the India VIX just because I don't exercise it, just because I don't use it. But I'm sure there might be some value. I don't see it adding any value to my decision making. My core focus is, am I able to take a proper trading decision for tomorrow's market or not? बस मेरा इतना ही core focus है. और उसके लिए मुझे ज़्यादा मसाला नहीं चाहिए. I don't want too many parameters because जितना ज़्यादा parameters होगा उतना trader confused होगा और मुझे confused trading नहीं करना है. ठीक है? How long do you stay in a trade? Now, what you can do, Abhishek, let me give you numbers, proper numbers, which is open for all, rather than you taking a look at me giving you some numbers. This masterclass program, when I migrated and I started this a year back, my belief is each and every discussion should be logged. मतलब आप अगर मेरे साथ लाइव क्लास में हो और हम लोग लाइव क्लास में XYZ स्टॉक को आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे हैं, तो यार उसको एक शीट में मेंटेन करो, जिससे कि पता चले 1 2 3 दिन बाद कि ये चला था या नहीं चला था. उसमें आप ट्रेड ले सकते हो, मैं ट्रेड ले सकता हूँ, नहीं भी ले सकते, बट हम लोग जो जैसे डील कर रहे हैं चार्ट्स के साथ, द वे वी आर एनालाइजिंग द चार्ट्स, उससे कुछ हो रहा है क्या या फिर हवे हवे में बात हो रहा है. सो आई मेंटेन अ शीट and I'm very strict about this. This is an open Google sheet और ये आपको 2 सबशीट दिखाता है जहां पे डेली चार्ट से जो भी डिस्कशन हुआ था और वीकली चार्ट से जो भी डिस्कशन हुआ, वो सारे के सारे स्टॉक्स के नाम डेट के साथ, लेवल्स के साथ मेंटेन किया गया. तो सोचिए मैं रैंडमली कहीं भी रुकता हूं, ठीक है, मैं रैंडमली सोचिए IRCTC पे रुकता हूं. ये IRCTC का 1 अप्रैल को डिस्कशन हुआ था, उसको हम लोग ने शीट में ऐड किया था. 3 अप्रैल को यहाँ से निकाल दिया था. ये एंट्री प्राइस था, ये एग्जिट प्राइस था, एक्सेट्रा. अगर कोई भी 1 अप्रैल 2024 का मास्टर क्लास का रिकॉर्डिंग सुनेगा, उसको उस दिन का लॉजिक समझ में आ जाएगा क्यों IRCTC को ऐड किया. सो दिस इज एन ओपन शीट, फील फ्री टू टेक अ लुक एट इट. यहाँ पे मैं एज डाल दूंगा तो आपको और अच्छी तरह से समझ में आ जाएगा. एंट्री डेट माइनस एग्जिट, एग्जिट डेट माइनस एंट्री डेट, उसका एक मोरलेस एवरेज आपको एक होल्डिंग पीरियड दे देगा. So this is proof in the pudding. I can say with data rather than out of thin air. Now, from the daily chart, it's around on an average 3 to 5 days. At times less than that, 2.5 days, but 3 to 5 days. At the beginning, we used to take quick profits just to get the portfolio going. Now we like to trend follow a little bit. Nowadays, we like to give our trades a little bit of room. 3 से 5 दिन. वीकली चार्ट्स, वीकली ट्रेड्स, वीकली चार्ट से जो ट्रेड्स हम लोग ने आइडेंटिफाई किया वो 3 से 5 हफ्ता. दीज आर दी वीकली. जैसे कल ही आई थिंक नहीं, लास्ट फ्राइडे हम लोग ने प्रेस्टीज से निकल गए. वी गॉट आउट ऑफ प्रेस्टीज. ठीक है, सो यू कैन चेक दिस शीट. द शीट इज आउट देयर, इट्स ओपन फॉर ऑल, सो दैट you understand what kind of work is getting done here. Why CDSL is falling in spite of having good results? Let's not go there. This is Kuntal. If you try to justify news and price behavior, you will be confused. Next is Mehul. Is it advisable to take futures in this uncertain market, or there will be many opportunities to directly trade in Nifty? It's a choice. When is the market not uncertain? I don't understand this. If you think at any point of time, oh, market is pretty certain, then the only thing which is uncertain is your future returns. So I do not take market for granted, and I consider market to be uncertain each and every day. Though there is a pattern, though there is a kind of a pattern in this randomness, in this chaos, but still market is uncertain all the time. If it's more uncertain and it's crazily choppy like the current situation, one can decide to trade less, one can decide to stay hedged, one can decide to stay away or trade options, ratios. That's a decision that trader needs to take. One size will not fit everyone. जो मैं करूंगा वो probably आपको सूट ना करे. ठीक है. I see a couple of questions on stocks like Angel One and Jubilant Food. Last के तरफ लेंगे अगर कोई और meaningful question ना हो तो. Parvinder is asking that Nifty 50 ETF plus put buy for risk management. Can you please give your opinion? Means you can. Means Nifty 50 ETF is one of my favorite investment, and I've been doing this for a very long time. Nifty Bs, Bank Bs, and many other such ETFs. But I don't buy the put because the objective of my buying is just long term holding. I'm not trying to protect. That's not the portfolio out of which I'm want to make frequent returns. That's a long term investment in the country. So you're fine with this. I'm fine with that. It's just the second part that I don't do. I just buy it and keep it. That's it. But what you're suggesting is fine. Quickly, Gurpreet, if market reverse at one point, then making new position, we should first make a portion in five stock, and rather than five stock, what would be the strategy? Again, आप गोल गोल घूमेंगे. I think Gurpreet, you asked the first question, right? Yes. So आप गोल गोल घूमेंगे because you'll not be able to decide. अब आप 10 से 5 में आ गए. What I'm trying to suggest is, let's say you've decided 10 stocks. Which is the first one and why is it so? और हो सके तो आपके 5 या 10 जो भी आप स्टॉक्स खरीदेंगे उनका लॉजिक सेम रखेंगे तो बेटर है. मतलब 10 स्टॉक 10 रैशनल से मत खरीदिएगा. पहला खरीद लिया सस्ता है, दूसरा खरीद लिया उसने बताया, तीसरा खरीदा यहाँ का रिपोर्ट बताया था, वो सब मत करने जाइएगा. वो पोर्टफोलियो आपका खिचड़ी बनेगा. एंड देन यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू हैंडल इट. Now you're discussing, now you're thinking कि मैं portfolio of 5-10 stocks बनाऊंगा, which is the easiest thing to do, trust me. आपने बना लिया और कोई एक स्टॉक 20% भाग गया. Are you prepared कि 20% भागने के बाद हम क्या करेंगे उसका? So try and create a method. आप उतना ना सोच के बारीकी से with minute details, which stock, why that stock, why that value, what if it comes down, what will I do? What if it goes up? आपने pyramiding बताया था. What percentage will I add? What should be my more or less average price? What is my expectation? What is my worst case situation? Am I going to use a stop loss? Is it a positional trading portfolio or is it a positional buy and hold portfolio? You have to put down जितना detail. वरना क्या होगा ना, आपको ये अच्छा लगता है खरीद लिया, चल गया, फिर मैं confused हूँ, टूट गया, मैं फिर भी confused हूँ. ऐसा मत कीजिएगा. Don't do that. So take your time to decide upon these things rather than to rush for the name. Rather than 10 stocks, just pick up 10 ETFs. Nifty Bs, Bank Bs, IT Bs, Pharma Bs, Debt भी ऐड कर दीजिए, लिक्विड बीज, गोल्ड ऐड कर दीजिए, सिल्वर ऐड कर दीजिए. अच्छा खासा मल्टी एसेट का एक 10 ETF का पोर्टफोलियो बन गया. Why do you want to go with stocks? रिटर्न्स एवरेज होगा, रिस्क भी डाइवर्सिफाइड होगा, रिस्क भी स्टॉक जैसा नहीं होगा. But the point is, अगर वो ETF भागता है, what will be your steps? That is more important. ठीक है? Please share the Google link. I'll share it with you. Wait a minute. Then give me a moment. The Google Sheet is for this, yes, performance. Here it is. Copy link. There you go. ये रहा. ठीक है, I've shared it with you. Okay, couple of last questions. Parvinder, do you think that after kind of buyer-seller fight is over, the real intrinsic value of price will? I have no. Seriously, I have very little understanding of this jargons. The buyer-seller fight can never be over. फिर market ही बंद हो जाएगा. The buyer-seller fight, the demand-supply is always there, every second of the market. जब मार्केट बंद हो जाता है, जैसे आज शाम को 6:30 चल रहा है 641, बायर सेलर फाइट नहीं कर रहा है बिकॉज मार्केट बंद है, बट बायर सेलर का मेंटल सिचुएशन फाइट कर रहा है. आई एम अ ट्रेडर, सो आई एम थिंकिंग व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू बाय टुमारो मॉर्निंग, व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू शॉर्ट टुमारो मॉर्निंग. सो इट्स हैपनिंग अप हियर एंड इट्स गोइंग टू सी सम एक्शन टुमारो मॉर्निंग. सो बायर सेलर का फाइट कभी बंद नहीं होता. सो क्योंकि पहला the first part of the sentence, I am kind of disagreeing with you. The second part of the sentence is not relevant for me. Last question. Manish, hi. What should be the logical SL that we should keep? I usually put the SL, the low high level of my deciding candle, give some light over it. No. That will be too tight. You need to give your trade a little bit of room. है ना? The current trade which we just exited from the weekly was Prestige, जो हम लोग ने फ्राइडे एग्जिट किया था. ये ट्रेड हम लोग ने वीकली चार्ट देख के डिसाइड किया था यहाँ पे इस दरमियान. इट्स ऑलवेज गुड, इट्स ऑलवेज बेटर आप अपने सौदे को थोड़ा सा नीचे जगा दीजिए. द लो विल बी टू टाइट. मतलब एक कैंडल का हाई के ऊपर आप खरीद रहे हो और लो के नीचे स्टॉप लॉस रख रहे हो. ऐसा हो ही सकता है स्टॉप जस्ट लो तोड़ेगा, जस्ट थोड़ा सा तोड़ेगा और सीधा घुमा देगा. एंड ये होता भी है. मेरे साथ तो पहले इन माय करियर इट हैड हैपेंड. ट्राई टू गिव योर ट्रेड रूम व्हेन यू आर टेकिंग इट. व्हेन इट स्टार्ट्स टू गो इन योर फेवर यू कैन टाइटन इट टू प्रोटेक्ट योर प्रॉफिट्स. ठीक है, बट हमेशा ट्रेड को थोड़ा सा जगा दीजिएगा सो दैट आपका जो एक्सपेक्टेशन एंटिसिपेशन है वो इट टेक्स टाइम टू शो दैट. अगर प्रेस्टीज चला एक सर्टेन परसेंटेज के बाद, सोचिए 10% के बाद हम डेली चार्ट से उसको ट्रेड करना चालू. सो इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड एंड पैशनेट अबाउट द सब्जेक्ट, आई वुड स्ट्रांगली सजेस्ट दैट रीड अबाउट वोलेटिलिटी बेस्ड स्टॉप लॉस मैनेजमेंट. मेरे हिसाब से वोलेटिलिटी बेस्ड स्टॉप लॉस मैनेजमेंट इज सिंपल, इज मेथोडिकल, इसमें कोई सेकंड गेसिंग नहीं है, एंड इट्स सेंसिबल ऑल्सो. लोग कभी कभार ईएमए देख के स्टॉप लॉस ट्रेल करते हैं. ईएमए के नीचे बंद हुआ तो क्लोज करते हैं. दैट इज ओके फाइन, बट ईएमए इज अ लैगिंग इंडिकेटर. वो करंट प्राइस से काफी दूर होगा और वो उतनी जल्दी से पिकअप भी नहीं कर पाएगा. So I think a lot of traders has spent a decent amount of time and research in volatility based stop loss management. यहाँ आपको Chandler stop loss मिलेगा, यहाँ आपको केस डेव स्टॉप लॉसेस भी मिलेंगे. सुपर ट्रेंड जो मेरे चार्ट पे है, इट्स अ सिंपल सुपर ट्रेंड, कुछ फैंसी नहीं है. वेलेस वाइल्डर जूनियर का पिसार मिलेगा विच इज पैराबोलिक स्टॉप एंड रिवर्स. दैट इज ऑल्सो अ वेरी सेंसिबल बट एट टाइम्स वेरी टाइट. उसका सेंसिबिलिटी इतना ज्यादा है कि पिसार बहुत जल्दी रिवर्स करता है, पैराबोलिक स्टॉप एंड रिवर्स. So my suggestion to you, Manish, would be spend some time, read about volatility based stop loss management. और blindly किसी का चार्ट देख के प्लॉट मत कीजिएगा until and unless you have 100% understanding of what is there on your chart. So मेरे चार्ट पे जो भी आपको दिख रहा है, I have everything back of my hand. I exactly know what these are, and not some fancy stuff I've heard from YouTube or somewhere else. ठीक है? So be a serious trader. To be a serious trader, you have to be a sincere student of the subject. So first be a sincere student, then trading attempt कीजिएगा. ठीक है? All right, बहुत ज्ञान दे दिया. I've taken a bit of time also. So let's see what's in store for us this week. फिर next Monday 6 बजे मिलेंगे and we'll evaluate how things played out. Right? Thank you, everyone. I think you already have that link of the performance sheet of all the trades I maintained. Take a look at it. Let me know if you want to reach out to me. And anything about the masterclass, the link has also been shared with you. Thank you for joining in and giving me this time every Monday evening. Take care and trade well for the rest of the week. Good night, everyone.